Okay, so the first question is, where does season 4 take Cardinal and Delorme's friendship? I can say that neither Cardinal nor Delorme are very good at expressing their feelings. And they obviously have a lot of feelings for each other, which neither one certainly has been able to express up till now. And maybe neither one has been able to even admit to themselves up till now, though probably more so Cardinal in that respect. But now the main obstacle, I think, to their at least acknowledging their feelings to themselves, if not each other, and that being Catherine Cardinal, is no longer in the picture. So I think if you're a fan of the relationship, the friendship between Cardinal and Delorme, you can well expect that the 4th season will deliver a really good resolution. And that being said, it's a resolution in keeping with the feeling and the flavor of Cardinal, the show. So get ready for that, because it's good.
Well, you'll have to watch the episodes to see. What a journey it's been for these two. I mean, Delorme wasn't even supposed to stay in Algonquin Bay at first. She was supposed to be there to investigate Cardinal and then move on to a bigger, more, I won't say more exciting, bigger challenge. And she stayed, and she stayed. And why did she stay? For him? I don't think she asks herself the question, or she asked herself the question, but at some point she'll have to decide, what does she do next?
How do I think Cardinal and Delorme have changed for the better since the first season? Well, they've become, I mean, they're palling around more, that's for sure. But who's to say that's for the better? I mean, we won't know, will we, until we see what happens in season 4. So there's that.
I think when we met Delorme in season 1, things were pretty black or white for her. People either decided to be on one side, the good side, or the other. And I think that she knows now a little better that sometimes people have no choice to survive. They do what they can, and sometimes that means being in the grayer areas, and sometimes it's not even a choice. It's just what you end up doing. Yeah, you do your best. And Cardinal, how has it changed? I think there's been more, I don't know. I think we always had a peek into his emotional kind of hidden life, I would say. But maybe we see it even more. Maybe he shows it more in season 4. He probably doesn't think that we can read it, but we can. Maybe just because we know him better. It's just, so it might actually, I don't know if they've changed that much, but I think we as audience got to know them better. You got to know them better. I think that's the main difference.
What was my favorite moment or episode from season 4? Oh, I have a cat visiting me in the woods. Hi, Puss. My favorite moment from season 4, or my favorite episode, it's so difficult picking any favorite moment from the shooting of Cardinal, which was like probably my favorite gig in my entire career, is super difficult. It's like picking your my favorite kitten of yours last time around. Impossible. But I'll try. There is an episode, I think it is the last episode of the season 4, during which there is a scene or a series of scenes during which we do a lot of running around in the snow in the forest. And thank goodness I had been regular at the gym there in North Bay for a while, because I might have had a heart attack if I hadn't been. Karine and I had a grand day running around in the snow with each other, shooting guns and laughing, and it was fantastic. I think, well, that's just the first thing that pops into my head, because as I say, picking a favorite moment from this show, from any of the seasons, it's just too hard to do. It was the best, really, it was some of the best working times of my life, honestly.
Yes, I would say episode 5, we shot in Toronto. Those were some of the last few scenes that we shot. It wasn't winter in Toronto anymore, really. That's not why those were my favorite scenes. It was great to shoot in winter. I'm not complaining at all. But I knew that these would be really important scenes between Cardinal and Delorme in season 4. Scenes that viewers and fans have been kind of wondering if those moments between them would happen. And I have to say, they do, but in a very Cardinal way. I was very proud of the way these scenes were shot. And there was an ease to them when we shot them. And once again, because it was the end of the run. Those were among like the last few scenes that we shot, Billy and I together. And so the emotion was real, and I was very serene. We were trying to find little things here and there, but we knew it had to be honest, simple and honest. And I think we did it. Yes, you let me know. What's the hardest part of saying goodbye to this series? All of it. I just loved the characters. I loved the writing, the directing. I loved the reactions we got from the audience. I loved how involved the network was, how the whole crew seemed proud to be working on this show, and I loved that it was a really strong Canadian series that got international attention, and I was proud of that. And I don't know, I was just happy on this set, happy to be talking about that show, happy to promote it, happy to get reactions from the viewers. You know, it's Cardinal is it's a detective show. It could have been just about the cases, but it was more than that. It was really, I don't know, I feel like the human connections were real and true, and I think that's what the audience responded to. And that's what I responded to as well.
What's the hardest thing about saying goodbye to the show? And what's the one thing that you would like to say to somebody that you worked with upon finishing the show? And they're really kind of the same question. Because the hardest thing about the show ending really is that I won't get to see people that I have come to love and admire with any regularity anymore. That's the hardest thing. I also think I find it hard to believe that I will ever again have a role that says that I enjoy as much. But though it is the fate, I think, of all actors to have that worry. That worry not only of maybe never having another good role, but the worry of maybe never working again. That's an ever-present worry, I think, even with people far more accomplished than I. The thing I would say to the people I have worked with, Karine knows how I feel. I have neither one of us has conserved any words with each other about how we feel. So I would say, I would say to the audience, it's been a great ride, and I hope you've enjoyed watching it as much as we have enjoyed making it. And I hope that as you watch season 4, you can see the care and the love, really, with which it was made.
What's one thing you'd like to say to your co-star or someone else from the series? I've said many things to Billy, and you've seen me say many things to Billy, be quite emotional when talking about him. But one thing I would like to say to the other cast members is that I'm really, I feel like even the actors who came for, I really hope at least that the actors who came just for a few scenes or I think everyone felt like they had their moment, and I really hope that everyone felt respected and welcomed and felt like they had the space to really do what they're good at, and that they were happy to come play with us, and that we were never taking too much space. We were taking the space that we needed to take, Billy and I. But I really hope that everybody else felt like it was their show as well. And Billy, I don't know. I'm gonna miss him very much. I don't know. I'll probably never work with him again. That's so sad. But you know what? I got to do 4 amazing seasons of this show with him, and we ended it on a really high note, and that makes me very happy and content with the experience of working with him.
And anything else that I would say to other people with whom I have worked on the show has already been said. So, thank you, audience, for tuning in such numbers and for loving the show. It's meant a lot to all of us. That's it from Norway. Bye.